Hi guys, it's Dinosaur Friend, and it's time for another Let's All Play Pokemon X and Y. So this time we have another returning Pokemon trainer into battle. His name is Jeff. So let's go ahead and introduce kind of what's going on here. So Jeff is actually a fan on the channel. I believe his name is SoulFan1532. So anyways, gonna go ahead and introduce the teams once again. So my team is kind of a variation of the Breloom team that I did the other week. Basically, I just switched out Machamp with Breloom. I kind of like Machamp better just because he's more durable, but that's kind of the case. I really wanted to do this episode on Machamp primarily, but things kind of changed a little bit. I'll kind of go over why later on, but anyways, going ahead and introduce the team. We have a Heatran as my lead. It's kind of an interesting lead. He's a very hard-hitting, strong lead Pokemon just because he has Taunt. He can kind of scout out all the moves. He has a very good amount of resistances and a couple of immunities that are quite nice as well. So I like Heatran as a little scout there, and a lot of people do think I'm sending out Ninjask first, so people do end up sending out some either rock types or freaking fire types, which Heatran can actually take down pretty easily just because of his unique fire steel type. So then we have Machamp, who's kind of I have him as an Assault Vest user. He's a full-on attacker, but with Assault Vest, he can get pretty bulky and pretty scary as well. Then we have Jolteon, who is a Choice Specs user. Very fast, very hard-hitting, love the thing. Also a very good scout, mid-game scout. Pretty good at scouting out any moves from any enemies with Volt Switch and whatnot. It's pretty good. Then we have Cloyster, who's a Shell Smasher. It's a physical sweeper, so pretty nice there. Has Skill Link and King's Rock, which causes a 41% flinch rate, which is pretty darn amazing. Ninjask, who is the stat passer, baton passer, passes along speed. As I mentioned earlier, this team has a few fast Pokemon, but a lot of Pokemon could use some more speed. Like Heatran, he could use more speed. Mew, he's already fast already, but he could use more speed. Cloyster, Shell Smash, he got Shell Smash, but really, Ninjask and Machamp is kind of where it really shines. I mean, flying Pokemon kind of suck when they get switched in, but that's why I have Cloyster around. But I don't know, with Ninjask and Machamp, it's pretty good. You basically rack up some speed and pass it to Machamp. So anyways, that's kind of the thing here. And then we have Mew, who is a Special Sweeper. Pretty good. Nasty Plot user, so with some speed, it's really, really dang good. So anyways, that's kind of the team here. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this battle started. So Jeff is issuing a challenge right here, and we're going to go ahead and get this battle going crazy on. So Jeff goes ahead and sends out Toph, who is a Bug Rock type. I'm actually not sure why the naming is Toph here, because Toph is actually a ground, is more of an earth/metal bender. So I actually named my Toph after an Excadrill, which is, metal and ground, pretty solid there. But anyways, so after using that taunt with Heatran, Jeff goes ahead and withdraws Toph because couldn't use the Shell Smash, and obviously being fire and steel, it's pretty good against whatever bug rock thing is. So Jeff goes ahead and sends out his Blastoise, and basically right about now I was pretty confident that I was going to tank whatever Blastoise had to throw at me, but I didn't expect a Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon is actually a terrible move. I think it's one of the worst moves ever invented in Pokemon history. Hydro Cannon, Hyper Beam, Giga Impact, Blast Burn, those kind of attacks, they suck because you lose a turn. You lose a turn at the end, and your opponent has time to set up for whatever's coming at him. So I go ahead and send out Cloyster right here. I get a free setup move, and basically boost Tonrak's attack stats, speed, and everything up to sky-high levels. And Jeff goes ahead and withdraws Blastoise. I don't know why that is, just because Blastoise has some pretty good resistances against Cloyster, and goes ahead and sends out Toph again, which is another kind of a questionable move, because I just feel, Toph is Rock Bug, which is weak against water, and that's what Cloyster is. I do have Razor Shell on this thing, so I don't know. I think that was a poor decision, but anyways, Jeff goes out and sends out his Mewtwo, and I feel like this move here is what he should have done instead of sending out Toph, because Mewtwo possibly had the speed and bulk to take down Cloyster, but unfortunately, I think without the correct speed and speed EV investments, Mewtwo does falter at this point. So The whole time when I was going through this battle, I was thinking I have to get rid of Mewtwo first, because Mewtwo is probably the biggest threat. And, you know, he is the biggest threat, so I got rid of him, and now the game is pretty much mine, since I'm guessing Jeff doesn't have any strong revenge killers to take out Cloyster, or at least fast enough, just because Shell Smash is pretty deadly. And then Jeff goes ahead and sends out his Blastoise again. Kind of a weird switch to the Tyrantrum beforehand. It was probably a mistake on his part, but I don't know. Tyrantrum is also another bad choice just because it's a rock type. Rock and dragon type, so that's pretty darn weak against ice. Then Jeff goes out and sends out his Gallade, which is a psychic fighting type. Unfortunately, I think Gallade is a slower type Pokemon. Unless it had some kind of priority move, it probably wasn't going to take down Cloyster. I'm not sure if Gallades are actually running physical or special sets nowadays, but I'm actually not too familiar with that Pokemon in general, so wasn't too sure. But if it was a physical set, it probably wouldn't take down Cloyster that much, just because Cloyster has high defenses. Right about here, I go ahead and switch out Cloyster, just because I feel that, you know, I didn't want to make this a repeat of our last battle. Jeff is a returning Pokemon trainer, you know, in this whole battle, and he did get eliminated by a Cloyster Shell Smash. Before it was a Cloyster Baton Pass, I don't remember quite, but it was Cloyster, and it swept his entire team. So right about here, I was like, all right, I'm going to switch it up a bit and switch out my Ninjask. Might as well show off what this team can do, because, you know, I didn't want this whole game just to be taken by Cloyster. That's kind of boring, you know. So right about here, I go ahead and use Hermes, who's named after the Greek god of speed, I think. He's supposed to be really fast or something, I don't know. Mercury in the Roman lore, but Hermes is the Greek one. So I go ahead and send out a bunch of substitutes, trying to rack up that speed. And then whenever Jeff does use some kind of move that doesn't do damage, I try to go ahead and use a Sword Stance. That's kind of the deal with Ninjask. So if the opposing team, you know, tries to use a status inflicting move that can't bypass a substitute, you know, that's the perfect time to use Sword Stance, and that's when Ninjask gets kind of dangerous. But speed alone is okay. Like, I felt that if I just got some speed, that would have been great. Fantastic. And combination of Protect and Substitute, I can recover quite a bit. I could probably get 6 speed boosts before I freaking switch out. But, you know, it's not really necessary. I think 3 or 4 is good, just because my Machamp doesn't have very high speed. I need at least 3 or 4, but if someone does have decent speed, like Mew, he only needs like 1 or 2. Like, he doesn't need much more than that. So I go ahead and send out my Machamp, who is named Wifi. For those of you who don't know what Wifi is, or the meaning behind the name, Wifi is actually a general in old ancient Chinese times, and he is accredited to actually a lot of the major kung fu styles that are currently existent today. It's kind of a legend. It's not maybe historically true or anything, but it's kind of the legend that goes on. General Wifi is kind of credited with, like, he's kind of like the grandfather of all kung fu styles, which is pretty cool. So I named him after that just because I love my Machamp. So anyways, I used Wifi to use some Earthquake, and of course I know it's going to deal incredible amounts of damage just because this thing has full maxed out IVs and EVs on attack. So this thing is just going to hit hard while being able to take some damage back. So Jeff goes out and says out it's Tyrantrum, and Dynamic Punch goes down from Machamp and totally takes it down just because it's a rock type. And I don't believe its defenses are terribly high, or even if it is, it's not good against that. Anyways, there were many glaring mistakes made by Jeff throughout this battle. Elementary mistakes such as using Hydro Cannon and not understanding the threat of stat boosting and baton passing really cost him the game. In my opinion, every team needs a revenge killer or someone that can assure a kill against a stat boosting Pokemon, whether it's a choice user or a priority attacker. In addition, every team should pack a phaser, tank, or wall to cripple a setup Pokemon sweep. Also, moves like Hydro Cannon are absolutely terrible and should never be used in any circumstance, since it gives the opponent a free turn to do whatever they like. So anyways, thank you for playing with me, Jeff. So if you guys like what you see, hit that like and subscribe button, and remember to follow me on Facebook and Twitter for more info on the Let's All Play series. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I shall see you guys on the next one.